Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mid-Morning. Where will it go? No one seems to really know, but the topic of the Mississippi School of Mathematics and Science is certainly continuing. And joining us today is the Vice President of Mississippi State University, Sid Salter. Thank you so much for joining us here at the table this morning.
My pleasure.
There's a lot to unpack here. We've brought President Nora Miller on from MUW. She kind of gave the W's response to a request for proposals, which MUW and MSU have both submitted now. And it is interesting to see the variances back and forth, but I guess I wanted to ask you about something that stuck out to me. And one of the things that stuck out was the name, Mississippi School for Math and Science Expansion. How did that come about, and what exactly does it mean?
Well, we've had in secondary education all over the country and in Mississippi the concept of magnet schools. And magnet schools narrow the focus of secondary education. Sometimes that focus is on things like discipline. But in this instance, the focus is on giving young people with exceptional abilities in math and science a venue to compete with other students with those gifts and to offer them, many times you have young people who are gifted in certain areas. They're bored sometimes in regular, whatever that is, regular schools.
Yeah.
And so you need a more challenging, robust curriculum in order to keep those students challenged and to prepare them for the next step. Some of our Mississippi students would be competitive at any university in the country, MIT, University of Chicago, any of the schools with deep backgrounds in math and science. But in order to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, the legislature in its wisdom created the Mississippi School for Science and Mathematics, MSMS, for that purpose, to give Mississippi students an opportunity to grow and develop and excel in math and science. Over time, that focus expanded to what we refer to in education as STEM and science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and then the latest acronym is STEAM, science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. And so, and it's important as a jumping off spot, Joey, to focus on the fact MSMS is a legislative creation. And if MSMS changes, it will be the province of the Mississippi legislature to make that decision.
Yes, and I want to continue with that proposal and the talk about it. The proposal is to essentially put this next to the partnership school right on Highway 182, and that is adjacent to the campus, which I think is important to point out because a lot of the concern was about high school students being so close to a large Southeastern Conference institution. Enrollment 25,000.
Right.
This school would have its own dining facilities, things of that. But how important is that distinction that this high school would be adjacent to campus?
Well, we're already successfully taking care of sixth graders, not only their education, but their care and feeding, their transportation, their extracurricular activities, and their common everyday safety. So we have experience doing that at Mississippi State. We've done it successfully. And I think the whole safety thing is a bit of a red herring in terms of the fact that we have, and one of the issues raised by one of your local officials was the Cleary report. We were required by the federal government to maintain the Cleary report, which reflects on the number of incidents or arrests that take place that involve crime or student safety. And of course, Mississippi State is 10 times larger than Mississippi University for Women, so it would sort of stand to reason that those numbers would elevate a bit. But frankly, if you compare the numbers closely, even by the Cleary measure, that's not the issue that it's made out to be. And, you know, I say this with all love in my heart. If you compare the Federal Bureau of Investigation crime rates between Starkville and Columbus, there is a decidedly higher crime rate in Columbus than in Starkville. So I really think that is both ways. That is sort of a red herring issue. We have a track record for taking care of middle school age students and doing so successfully. And if the legislature in its wisdom chooses to entrust us with this responsibility, we will continue to do a good job.
All right, look, we're just getting started. We'll have more from Sid Salter after the break. All right, welcome back, everyone. Sid Salter joining us this morning from Mississippi State University, and we're discussing the proposal that the university submitted to the Department of Education to possibly house MSMS, the School for Math and Science. And Sid, we're just kind of going through some questions here, and one of the, I guess, criticisms or one of the things that has been said about this proposal, and I guess all of its partners that are involved, MSU, the Starkville-Oktibbeha Consolidated School District, and then also MSMS, is that, you know, the school district has the option to use $86 million in bonds for a new high school. And then the request and the proposal was for $85 million for a new MSMS facility, right? So I guess people are saying maybe Starkville's using this as an opportunity to get some state funding to help build a high school. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't think it is, but can you kind of put a distinction between the two? Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Yeah, it does, and I'll answer that this way. It's my understanding, although I don't speak for the Oktibbeha-Starkville School District, but it's my understanding that regardless the outcome of the MS decision, Starkville is going forward with the construction of a new school. So, and we have, you know, been in discussions with them about expanding the existing partnership school that we have. We think that makes sense for all partners, but regardless, the allegation is that this is all a ruse for Starkville taxpayers to get one up on Columbus taxpayers. Starkville-Oktibbeha County, to my understanding, is going to build a new school regardless, and so the decision before the State Department of Education and the Mississippi Legislature is what is the future, what is the appropriate future of MSMS. To the extent that the construction will be taking place on our campus anyway, I think it makes sense to present what we have to lawmakers and to those at the State Department of Education. But I want to emphasize this. Mississippi State didn't wake up one day and say, we want to get into the residential high school business. We were asked by the Mississippi Legislature, by the State Department of Education, and we had the same amount of time to prepare that our friends at Mississippi University for Women had to prepare that proposal, and we responded to it with our very best effort.
You actually answered a question I was going to ask there, so that's perfect. Also, in the proposal, it said that MSU and the school district could have temporary facilities in place for next school year if MD wants to move forward immediately. What does that look like?
I think that will, again, and I'm not comfortable speculating on that. It will depend on exactly what the decision made by the school board, state school board, and the legislature. We're very much in a position of following their instructions.
Understood. Okay, well, I tell you what, we've got a few more questions we'll save for the last block, and we'll be right back. Thanks.
So.
Welcome back, everyone. Sid Salter with the Vice President of Mississippi State University, joining us today to discuss this proposal that the university submitted for MSMS, to house MSMS on its grounds. And Sid, you know, both universities, MUW, MSU, offering dual enrollment, but MSU is an R1 research institution that really is helpful in this proposal and helpful for students if they were to come to campus on a consistent or live there on campus. Can you kind of talk a little bit about the research opportunities at MSU?
Absolutely. Mississippi State, as you mentioned, is an R1 Carnegie research institution. We are in the National Science Foundation Top 100 for research. Obviously, our land grant mission positions us as a school that has real strength, number 10, number 11 nationally in agricultural research, but also in various disciplines in engineering and surprisingly in a number of social science fields as well. And so we do over half of all the funded research in the state of Mississippi on our campus. So those opportunities for students there are off the charts in terms of their abilities to study with or perhaps even participate in research with some really outstanding scholars. We also, and again, we're not at odds with MUW, and it's been couched like that to a degree in the media. We have a lot of programs we cooperate with each other on, and we'll continue to. But as we look into this, Mississippi State's research enterprise and our mathematics and science offerings in terms of what degree can you earn at Mississippi State and what degree can you earn at Mississippi University for Women. Someone who studies with us can come out with a doctorate degree in math or science. And so we think that's a distinction because of the number and the quality of the scholars. And so we think that is a plus for our proposal. And we feel like that as the state's leading research university, and that's not really a debate, we are, based on the amount of research we're doing. We think that is probably the fundamental plus in our favor, is that we can position these students that have science, math, technology, engineering expertise, and we can help them advance in a very efficient way.
And I'm going to try and sneak in one last question here. Part of the proposal too was a plan to increase enrollment for MSMS and maybe eventually add a 10th grade. I believe I read in the proposal. What do you think that looks like going forward as far as recruitment and how you do that? Because it looked like Mississippi State really wanted to use its, its name that it's already using to recruit college age students, and maybe focus that way. But I don't want to put words in your mouth either.
I think when you are talking about this, there's one side, housing, feeding, transporting, safeguarding, and then, of course, counseling and guiding students. There's that. On the other side, there is staffing up for that, and there is designing curriculum that fits that. But again, we will know more about what that looks like when we receive instructions from the State Board of Education and the Mississippi Legislature. I do think that our size helps in that we do more housing, feeding, all that, and I think that we are prepared for the challenge.
All right. Hey, a lot of insight there, a lot of good information. Thank you, Sid.
Thank you, Joey.
Really appreciate you. All right, we'll be right back with more Mid-Morning. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. The forest needed to be thinned to prevent wildfires. Native Americans needed firewood to keep warm. In one corner of the American West, they found a win-win solution. Janet Shamlian explains.
It's a tradition as old as the Washoe tribe itself. A home heated by a wood fire, the way Eileen Maisie, a Washoe elder, has always lived.
Without the stove, what access would you have to heat?
Without the stove, at this time, we would have no heat.
The custom is harder to hold on to in modern life, as most tribes don't control the land around them and can no longer take the trees for firewood. But now, a creative solution through a partnership between the National Forest Foundation and 8 tribes across 5 states. A win-win. Wood banks created from trees cleared for fire prevention that otherwise would have gone to waste.
This is what they brought you?
Yeah.
It goes to Native American communities where poverty rates are almost twice the national average and where a cord of wood lasting 6 to 12 weeks can cost a budget-busting $400.
When you don't have it, it's life or death.
We visited a national forest near Maisie's home, where Caitlin Lonergan of the National Forest Foundation told us too much wood can be dangerous.
Why does this wood have to be taken out of the forest?
We're dealing with an overgrowth problem. We are taking this material off the landscape so there's not as much fuel to burn.
On average, a California fire season burns close to 1 million acres. January's Los Angeles fires burned more than 16,000 structures. Lonergan showed us this snow-covered pile that's been cut down. The forest thinning reduces tinder that can drive a wildfire.
It's material that we need to get rid of, but it's not much value in more traditional markets.
But it's of immense value to indigenous communities across the American West, facing bitter winters with limited access to affordable heating.
What is the significance of a partnership between tribes and a federal agency?
Over the past 150 years, the Washoe tribe has been shut out from a lot of its historical lands, and now being able to have some influence on what is actually happening in the tribe's ancestral lands. Most of this is Jeffrey pine.
Kenneth Cruz oversees distribution to the Washoe tribe, a community of about 1,500 near Reno, where elders like Violet Pete get the wood for free.
What was it like that first time they delivered to you?
It was nice, and I didn't have to worry about wondering where my next wood was going to come from or how much I could use.
We want to be able to preserve that beauty and continue to pass it down for not necessarily just our children, but for everyone that's here.
The land's original stewards, now allies with the government, preserving forests and sustaining native tribes. For Eye on America, Janet Shamlian, Dresslerville, Nevada.
A new study suggests some popular brands of braiding hair have cancer-causing agents in them. Here's more.
For Miss Andrea Swain, a trip to Salon Monet is more than a place for a new style.
I've been getting my hair done since I was 5 years old. It's been one of the safe places for Black women to grow, to connect, and to really take care of ourselves.
But now Swain is grappling with a troubling reality. According to Consumer Reports, synthetic hair products, widely used especially among women of African descent, are linked to cancer. A study tested 10 popular brands. The results? Carcinogens were found in 100% of samples. Lead was present in 9 out of 10. Volatile organic compounds were detected in all products.
during conversations with Black women. When we asked them, what are you the most concerned about? Artificial braiding hair came to the top of the list.
James Rogers with Consumer Reports recommends users choose their products wisely.
We don't recommend stop using the products because we know they're important culturally. What we do say is be aware that there's a potential problem with these products.
Rogers says reduce time between braiding events, but it's easier said than done. Synthetic hair products is $1 billion industry. Salon Monet owner Shelly Mendiz says these dangers could cast a wide net.
It's really hurtful to me, to my clients, to the Black industry.
Mendiz prides herself on using healthy hair products, hoping women prioritize companies and businesses that do the same.
Call the distributors out that are selling these products.
Consumer Reports urges users to report issues to the FDA. Laura Hafley, CBS News, Boston.
The discovery of an unexploded bomb dating back to World War II severely disrupted traffic to and from Paris's bus in Paris, the world's third busiest train station there. The 1,000-pound bomb was likely American or British. Eurostar had to cancel all trains to and from Gare du Nord. I probably said that wrong, forcing travelers to reschedule their trips. The bomb was found about 1.5 miles from there in the middle of the tracks, one of the network's train lines. The H line said in a post on X. How scary, but interesting. History lives on. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.